Welcome back to Colony Wars. Last time we were in the Draco system running guerrilla raids on the Navy. The reason to do this was to use the element of surprise to our advantage. You know, take out what we can here and there. The crux of the mission came when we had to capture the comms craft, which if we could do that, the Navy wouldn't know we're there, but they also didn't want us destroying it. Assuming we failed, the League is trying to recoup its losses, trying to recover. It could, but for the sake of this, we weren't able to do that. Now we go to Alpha-Centauri. You go to Alpha-Centauri by finishing Diomedes or failing in Draco, and Alpha-Centauri has a whole different problem for you to deal with. Let's see what happens as the League is drawn into civil war.
The League was in trouble. We were realizing the scale of the threat against us, and confidence was evaporating. Self-belief was draining from my comrades and myself, and from what I heard, there were those in the fleet that even blamed the father himself. Now we were heading for the Alpha-Centauri System, where civil war raged between League supporters and Empire loyalists. They had been fighting for a long time, and each side had its own tales of atrocity to tell. In truth, no one really knew what we were going to find.
Panic transmissions frequently broadcast from isolated areas within the Alpha-Centauri system indicate massive internal conflict. There are no secure areas within this system. All League compounds are subject to constant harassment. However, the system's proximity to the Sol system gives it considerable strategic importance. Current data indicates a League destroyer entering the system requires armed support. It is some distance from Vergia in the region of a League battle platform. Intermittent reports suggest a struggle is underway. Locate the League destroyer and provide full military cover. Engage and destroy all hostile craft in the vicinity.
I do love the scale of the destroyers and dreadnoughts in this game. It's a real step up from the cruisers.
That is one thing that I've noticed. Hello, I'm Commander Jeffers, by the way. That I've noticed in this game is the capital ships are a little smaller in scale, but maybe that's just because we haven't gotten to the big ones yet.
The frigate and the cruiser definitely aren't as big as the destroyer right here is the next step up, and there's still a ship bigger than this one.
Yeah, that's the thing. When I was looking at them, they're, you know, you're flying past them, and they're maybe the size of, I don't know, a few houses, city blocks, something like that, which I don't really strikes me as giant space scale. But these are getting pretty big. I hope that the famed Super Titan that I'm assuming, going to be fighting at the end of the LP.
Oh, yes.
Is going to live up to some standards.
About 40... I don't know what the scale is going on in the fleet database video. There's like a numbered scale window down there. But that one goes up to 5,000, and the frigate is, was it like 500? Faction frigate opening jump gate. This is the big thing about this. So 3 planets in the system are controlled by the League and 3 by the Navy, and that is not a League frigate because it looks blue to me, and he's opening fire. You are fighting against League ships in this system, and you know, there's the dissonance between League and Navy fighters. League fighters are really good. The Dark Angel is by far the most deadly.
So that faction is an unknown group? We're not aware of them yet?
They're traitors.
Gotcha.
They are working with the Empire to undermine the League. But these Dark Angels, the Interceptors, they will face you the entire time like a turret and circle strafe you and like perfectly hit you the entire time. And I kind of run into some problems here thanks to that one. It's just the one Dark Angel, but you'll see how deadly they can be. It's not just the flak that's going to get me here.
Yeah, I see your shields are down already.
He is sitting back there and he is unloading. But my tried and true method of finding the right place to camp and forward and reverse thrust is working. But I do almost bite it here.
Yeah. Sometime I'd like to see a space shooter game where your momentum is actually I don't know, uncapped. Because you are in the vacuum of space.
I'm also in the vacuum of ramming into invisible debris over and over, as has been common so far.
Yeah, I do like your strategy of just not even trying to chaff missiles, just taking them right up the tailpipe as many times as it takes.
Accounts are continuing to emerge.
The missiles will
which
home
suggest
in
an
perfectly.
unidentified third force
I-
making military interventions
Yeah,
in the
you can't
Alpha-Centauri
avoid them
system.
otherwise.
I do remember you dodged one once. Was that more or less a fluke?
It's really hard to get to that reverse camera angle just to fire the mine off. In addition, if they can fire missiles without facing you, and if they do that, even if you launch the mine, it's still going to ram into your face. There's really no dealing with missiles. That's why they don't do as much damage to you, which is, I'm assuming, is why anyway.
I wonder if they were planned to be a more dangerous threat, and then once they realized their system made them kind of undodgeable, they tuned their damage way down.
Vengeance is a lot more tuned than this game is about the underlying mechanics of the firepower. This is mission 2 and 4 as always are like if we failed the last mission we'd be here, but it doesn't really feel like a fail state. You know, I mean, it's just like it's like the very first mission of the game, but now we have to hold off League fighters.
Sure.
The only thing that matters here is the space station.
Right.
Oh, and about the demon, when the plasma cannon actually does a little hull damage through shields. It's not significant, but it's just a little detail about them.
Sure. So they're not going to be doing so much that you're actually going to blow up this craft before the shield goes down.
I managed to save everything. Unfortunately, it's not like I get rewarded with medals like in free space.
So like the previous system, Alpha-Centauri has a 5-mission structure where 2 and 4 are failure rewards, so to speak.
Every act has 5 missions. There's one act in Draco, Alpha, and Soul that have 1 mission because it's like a do or die moment.
Sure.
You know, if you succeed in this act, you go on to another 5 mission. You fail, you go on to another 5 mission, and then there's like a 1 mission if you succeed and fail or fail and succeed.
Sure.
No enemy presence detected. Area clear. Docking sequence initiated.
I like that space station.
Yeah, I love the ship design in this game, but I feel like it kind of went down for Vengeance and especially Red Sun. I'm not a fan of the ship design in Red Sun. But in Vengeance, the Navy craft looked great in Vengeance.
I like how a lot of the fighters are designed in such a way that they would not work in an atmospheric environment. They have 4 wings, such that, you know, all sorts of nonsense.
There is going to be moments where ships do go planetside for cutscenes, and it's like, you know, I don't think these would work on the planet. Like, you'll see the League destroyers planetside, and it doesn't really seem like they should be able to do that.
Well, we did mention that the sense of scale in this game is a bit odd. My favorite part so far is when they virus bombed that planet, and the virus spread over the entire surface in like a second.
Homeworld came out before this game, so that's probably a nod to that in some small way.
Could be. I think that puts the virus traveling at something like 1/8 of the speed of light or some
They have
nonsense.
anti-aging in this universe. They are sending colony ships out just stocked with human embryos that mature to be brainwashed to colonize planets. Like, there is some crazy shit going on in this universe. Like an organic planet. That will, if you try to tamper with the planet, it will release a toxin that destroys everything on the planet. So you can't use it.
So it is Alpha-Centauri, basically.
Well, no, the organic planet was in Galanire. Alpha-Centauri,
I know.
I don't know. I haven't looked at the system database for it yet.
Well, if it starts writing you poetry, you should get on a different planet. Can I just say my favorite character so far is that guy who goes, yeah, whenever you do something remotely impressive.
Oh, that'll be happening more. It would be a 3-way, but the Empire is helping the faction out.
Sure. So the Empire and the faction are allied, basically. The faction's not going for its own independence.
Oh no, they're just trying to take over the League at this point.
Sure.
Because they don't believe in the Father anymore, because the war... This is... Alpha-Centauri is where the war is essentially deadlocking.
Right, because you haven't succeeded so well yet, but you also haven't failed so badly.
I mean, look how small this frigate is compared to the destroyer we came in with. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the scale is... I just love when you get to fly next to ships in these kinds of games. That's one of the big things about Space Sims for me.
Yeah.
Just being able to be around those kinds of things.
I played some TIE Fighter way back in the day, and I loved how you could fly up to a ship, and depending on where its big old turrets are, you'd be safer or more danger, and it just provides a different form of experience that you don't really get in a planetary type sim.
Intelligence crews are currently attempting to discover the aims and strengths of these X-League pilots. In the absence of further information...
Oh, I still have yet to post the, if you betray your allies and start shooting them, you get killed. And there's like a little cutscene that plays out for that. And so it's pretty impressive that, since all fighters are equipped with auto-destruct codes so that they can blow you up at will if you betray them, the faction has gotten away with so much hardware.
Ensure that this comms craft is able to dock with the spaceport. Provide full arm support.
Now this one doesn't feel like a failed state either, because this one actually leads well into the next mission.
Can I just say that working for a group that installs a self-destruct remote trigger on your spaceship makes me kind of wonder how good we really are in compared to the Empire.
Oh, we're going to be killing civilians later in this video.
Okay.
The only instance the League actually does that, but you know, it's not canon, so this never happened. This is all just theoretical. So it's okay.
Don't blame me. I voted for the father.
They gave you the absolute worst craft for this kind of job.
Gosh.
I've already, like, the vampire, it's just a scout. Oh yeah, I forgot I did that. Just loaded. Yeah, I was like, you know, I'm pretty much dead at this point.
Is that a quick save then?
Oh, I totally save stated.
Oh, bless emulators.
Because I have had a crashing issue in the disc too.
Sure.
And then there's something else I did which was entirely justified in loading a state, but that'll be near the end. Oh wait, no, that's in the next
I
video.
guess the faction's real power is the ability to control time.
I like the look of this, short and sweet.
I still don't know what he's actually saying. And as you can imagine, it takes quite a while to drop a frigate with just one laser
Sure.
and no missiles.
You don't have any other weapons to switch to while this thing
Nope.
is recharging.
Nope. I just have my lasers and a stun missile.
I assume that capital ships are totally immune to the stun missile.
It'll do some, but you need EMP guns to disable them.
Sure.
Unless you input... Oh yeah, that's why you don't stand still, because you get blasted. That beam will waste you if you have no shields.
Mm-hmm. Do shields regenerate? I haven't noticed it happening, but maybe...
Oh no,
Yeah.
if it's a second health bar.
Gotcha.
And you can see, like, if this was the first mission, I'd have killed this guy in like 2 seconds. Took him 5, because they're vampires. They're just better fighters.
Right.
Communications craft is docked.
It takes like a minute 30 for it to actually reach the spaceport too.
Commencing
It's a lot of
docking
that
sequence.
in Alpha-Centauri, just waiting around.
Once you already destroyed all the enemies, you mean?
Yeah, you still have to wait for it to get there.
Yeah.
Because they'll still keep coming in to give you something to shoot at, because it's the whole arcade
The prevailing
thing.
situation
Right.
in the Alpha-Centauri system
Arcade shit.
remains highly unstable. The defense of League craft...
Man, I wish I had this. Had this thing in the last mission. There is one mission. It's definitely the hardest mission in the game. It's in the. Every mission starts off with like every system starts off with the one set of missions, and then you go up or down. If you go up, which is failing that first act in Soul, that is by far the hardest mission in the game. I can say that for certainty, having played every single
Navy
mission.
activity in the region is heavy.
And they force you to pilot the vampire, and that's the problem.
You mentioned that by far the hardest missions are the ones you get when you've already started failing.
Yeah, it's ironic because it requires effort to actually fail.
Right. I've noticed that they're like, shoot 3 unarmed tugs. And if you fail that...
You
then-
have to be destroyed by fighters that your allies are already taking care of,
Mm-hmm.
or you just let them reach the spaceport, which takes like a good 3 minutes.
I assume your allies don't shoot the tugs.
Oh, no.
Otherwise the player would have literally nothing to do.
No, that's you. That's all you, buddy. So the comms craft is carrying the information about the faction, and if it needs to reach command so they actually know what's going on out here.
Sure.
Which I don't know why we couldn't do that in any other fashion, but whatever.
Well, I mean, if you send a radio message, it'll take years and years and years to arrive.
Well, that's what the comms craft is for, but they have to carry the actual data. They're not actually sending any data remotely.
Battleship has entered vicinity.
Well, I don't know. Presumably, transmission mediums don't work through wormholes. I don't know, man. Just play your space game.
But we have anti-aging. Live hundreds of years longer than we should.
Well, then we can afford to wait for a message.
Elite faction destroyers popped in, blew up the spaceport, but it's not
Yeah.
actually doing anything. You can see the blinking red dots out there. More of the mine system in play.
Yeah.
I don't know how they set these up in advance. We don't really get a description about sirens. They're not in the database.
They seem to be some sort of parallelization beam or tractor beam.
Yeah, it's a tractor
Mine.
beam. Then they drag them over, and then the mines blow up and kill them. I also cut out me flying at one that didn't uncloak, and then also running into one of its mines. That's why I lost half my shields in the intermission there.
Alright.
That's something I remember.
I would imagine that would make an impression on somebody. I like the siren as a concept. This sort of vulnerable in and of itself, but whatever it's pointing at is incredibly...
Capital ships just can't seem to deal with them.
Right, yeah, it seems that they have some sort of, I don't know, EMP field mixed in there because they're unable to be shot down by all the turrets on the capital ship they're paralyzing.
Man, we also have, like, the big ships that just cloak at will. They can just do
Right.
that. It's just a lot of stuff they just threw together in the game. But it's,
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, in the original OP I wrote 2 years ago when I was trying to figure out how I wanted to actually play the game, before I settled on other things, I basically said, it feels like Mike Ellis, the writer, like he was writing a sci-fi novel, but then he was like, oh, you want to make a game with this? And he was like, oh, hell yeah. So let's just go with that image.
Mm-hmm.
Takes a while, Comscraft is out. Chimeras pose no threat because they're so slow. I do not like the Chimera when I have to use it.
Sure.
Communications craft has successfully breached.
I do like how there are two kinds of warp gates, the kind that appears instantly at convenient points, and the kind that are only appear, you know, a suitably dramatic distance away.
If you listen to the battle platform, it's basically the jump engine technology.
Attacks came without warning in Alpha-Centauri. The loss of the comms craft threw us into disarray. Once loyal League pilots were sabotaging our patrols. They called themselves the Faction. But the League didn't realize a desperate situation, and we were paying the price. The Empire backed the Faction to the hilt. After all, no one knew the League like its own pilots. The Tsar promised glory tomorrow in return for treachery today. Then watch as the League ripped itself apart. There were accusations and interrogations, but how could anyone know which side even the interrogators were on?
It's not going too well.
League planets within Alpha Centauri appear to be coming under serious threat from marauding enemy cruisers and destroyers.
Just roving gangs of fleet craft out there.
Sure. It's, I don't know. These things must have some sort of self-sustaining ability, because I would think you'd take a lot of supplies to support a craft that
League
big.
research bases on Calliopeia are being systematically destroyed. Faction craft in the region are now engaging League craft sent to assist in the
I
planet's
also
defense.
like how unbelievably uncreative the name The Faction is. Yeah, we're the group.
Well, yeah, we have the Tsar.
We're fighting the war. We've got the spaceship. It's equipped with the laser.
Cruiser is able to leave the area safely, as further hardware loss will have serious consequences.
It really lends itself. If the other idea I had was, I was thinking maybe, you know, hybrid LP screenshots, you know,
Sure.
do some extra narrative, but after Siphon Filter, I don't think I have the brain power for that.
I don't know that this game would work very well in screenshot format.
I mean, just like, you know, like making up your own characters and throwing them all together.
Oh, yeah.
And then, because I had, the whole reason I'm keeping the 5 routes thing I was using is just, I just had them, so, you know, that's it. You know, the 5 endings, 5 routes, and then I would tell the story around each one. This is a really simple one. I think no, wait, that's not okay. He's trying to, in the next mission, there's a one that's trying to escape into an asteroid field.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a good plan. That's another thing I love about asteroid fields in science fiction. They're always so dense. Real-life asteroids are like millions of miles away from each individual asteroid.
Oh man, wait until Red Sun. I mean, you think you've seen a dense asteroid field. You've not seen what Colony Wars can do.
Oh boy. I do remember that mission where you were escorting the medical platform as it was flying through the asteroid field.
Yeah,
I also liked how all the asteroids were in a perfect line right in front of the medical.
I also just... Can you not go around it?
Oh no.
We're in space.
We're so low on fuel.
Oh, there's a mission in the Solar System. I'm going to say what this mission is. There's 3 cargo transporters you have to escort. And the Navy are defending an asteroid, a massive asteroid, that is on collision course with them. And I'm like, can you guys just go around? And I think that's one of the fail-state missions too, which is even more insane, because all you have to do is destroy the asteroid you win.
In the ballistic zone.
I also liked how there was that one mission where you were fighting it was a mining platform or something. It was on an asteroid, and to destroy the platform, you literally just shot the asteroid itself to bits with the laser. Sure, why not?
It's very good camouflage. We haven't seen the last of the mining station yet. It gets even more incredible.
In Alpha-Centauri. You are required to locate the faction destroyer and ensure it is terminated.
This is if you fail to destroy the one from last time. It just, like, gets away or something.
Sure. You just sit on your hands for 30 minutes.
You have to... If you sit on your hands for 6 minutes here, it will definitely get away again.
This is League Dreadnought. Traitor destroyer has entered an asteroid field. We cannot pursue.
Oh no, an asteroid field.
It's not like he was doing anything to begin with.
Sure. If I know anything. And there he goes.
It's really just the same mission again.
I do like the, I don't know what you call them, fissures of light that appear all over the capital ship just before they all break apart.
I like seeing
Very
the debris in
dramatic.
the jump gate cutscene too. You see the debris back there. This is an interesting.
Alpha-Centauri is creating difficulties for routine League operations. Cloaking technology is enabling certain activities to go undetected.
I guess that's what cloaking technology does,
This
doesn't
presents
it?
problems for certain digital location finders. A number of League craft are located in hostile zones, having escaped Navy forces. Cloaked League destroyers are endeavoring to meet these craft in advance of recovery procedures. This may entail prolonged periods of self-defense until friendly craft are able to decloak in the vicinity.
It's never a good sign when the craft you get is the vampire.
Especially when it sounds like you're on an endurance mission where you need to survive for an arbitrary period of time.
Oh, how did you know?
Oh, just a hunch.
This is command. A jump gate malfunction has been detected. You have been sent to a non-critical sector. We are endeavoring to send fleet
This
craft
whole thing, I mean, it's fun to play, but you're in the vampire and everything just takes so much time to destroy. This mission was about 5 minutes. I made sure to look at that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, could I just have a Dark Angel?
Oh no.
If we were going up against the faction in this one, we would have been in. This would probably be the hardest mission in the game.
Sure, because the League is so much better.
Yeah, those Dark Angels do not screw around.
Yeah.
In it. Oh yeah, I do appreciate that the Navy keeps sending out so many fighters to take out this one stranded scout craft.
Right. They probably assume you've got some absurd master plan. They're just terrified of you at
No,
this point.
I just want to kill your people. All right, Is that cool with you?
One at a time.
Storm Lords have the most hull strength of all the Navy ships too. It's the worst.
So really, oh wow, very nice.
Very lucky.
Yeah.
Because if you are hitting any other button and you try to go to the rear camera, it's not going to work. So you have to drop what you're doing and immediately reach for the shoulder pads, and then also press the missile button.
So you can't even be turning.
No.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. It depends. It's not in your favor.
Sure.
The missile system is definitely stacked against you if you're locked on.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if in this beautiful age of emulators, if there would be some alternative control scheme you could cook up that would actually make it possible.
Well, it'd probably be like a... Actually, no, I can't think of one. It's just, you just get a gamepad configuration and you roll with it.
Sure. Probably wouldn't be worth the effort. It's all tuned anyway.
And also, you'd have to be able to react. You have to react as soon as it's fired.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, the distances are not that large.
Out of there. Exit the asteroid field and come aboard.
Send a destroyer out just to pick me up.
That's nice of them.
Commencing docking sequence.
So this whole mission basically accomplished nothing for the League.
Oh no, it's just me getting
You
stranded out
got sent
here.
to the wrong place, I assume, because
Did
of
you see the
Traitor.
destroyer get hit with the asteroid there?
I did.
Shut down.
fine.
We're maximum rank now, Son of the League.
Urgent data transmissions
Whatever that
are being
means in
collated
particular.
from sources
These are
in the
some
Blessed
amazing
Zone.
rank names too, like
Despite
Defender
attempts
of
to encrypt
Justice,
we have established that members of the
Defender
Faction
of
Command
Peace,
are
and Son
scheduled
of the
to meet
League.
with Navy leaders.
Can you get Defender of Justice
This
on the
is
mission
believed
when
to be
you
the prelude
firebomb
to
civilians?
which would effectively strangle the League's resistance.
I don't know.
Flight
It
plans
just
have been
happens.
obtained,
We'll
detailing
find out, I
Faction
guess.
command
I don't know.
crafts
I'm already
Do your
max
best.
ranked.
Monitoring forces
I
have been
can, it's too
dispatched
late.
to track the faction and attempt to sabotage this meeting.
All I know is, the League
Also take
upholds
place
like
on a
freedom
meeting
and
starport.
justice, and that's all that
Sure.
matters when we shoot down
Must not be
civilians.
allowed
You
to
are
dock.
free to be firebombed by us.
You
for
are
our own
required
good.
to join the monitor force and attack the command craft.
This is a mission that will directly lead
importance
into the next
that
bad
these
ending,
talks do
and
not
like
take place.
failing at like the next mission or the next act from this one goes in the same ending, but it makes the most sense if you fail this one.
Traitor craft cannot
Sure.
be permitted to reach
So
Navy
there's a
soil.
faction command craft carrying their essential personnel. They're going to try to make peace with the Empire, which would effectively strike, like, because they're trying to take over the League. So they could say, "Oh, we beat our enemies. Let's go home," and But no, there's ulterior motives in play. So if they dock, it's not like we could destroy the starport in this mission or anything. Which is coincidentally what the next mission is. It's just destroy the starport. No, this one we have to get shot by allies a few times, shoot down the
Gotcha.
escort, and then just take out a dreadnought of all things, which then causes the command craft to jump in, and then you blow that up. I can't get over how useful EMP guns are. Just being able to shut someone down like that.
And I think you mentioned that once you're shut down, you never recover.
Only the capital craft.
Only the
If you-
capital
if you-
craft.
If you keep hitting them with it, they are not coming back.
Sure,
But a fighter will recover.
I suppose, but only if you decide to let it. And why would you?
And when you're in the Hydra, you don't really fear capital craft with these kinds of weapons.
Mm-hmm. Got a pretty good angle here.
This dreadnought, I think the flak has to be set individually for ships. I get the feeling, because some ships just have way better flak than others, or have more flak than you think they would.
Even same types, you mean?
Yeah, I feel like that's a thing. The command craft has some killer flak, like that comms craft in the Draco system.
Oh gosh, look at that.
It is focused very well. This is why I'm
I kind of wish you could see the turrets on the surface of the command ships. The capital ships, I mean.
They do get hard points in the next game.
Oh, that's nice. There we go. Never look at explosions.
But I'm flying away. I'm not really looking at it. It's just the camera's looking at it. My guy's pointing the other
That's
direction.
right. Yeah, it's a nice rear view. Very dramatic.
Confirmation has been received from decryption units that the
Coincidentally,
faction
if you
intends to
succeed,
negotiate a
because
settlement
only
with
if
Navy
you fail mission
representatives.
4, it's game over. But if you succeed in mission 4, you do get to
That
go
the
on to
League
mission
would
5
find
every
its
time.
aims being
Sure.
severely
So
misrepresented.
they're still trying to go through
It
with
is
this,
likely that
which
the
makes
League
sense. That couldn't have been their only set, and the Empire's still
A
trying to work
Navy
with it.
starport in the Hesta zone has been named as the site of further negotiations. Enemy communications craft are currently traveling to this location. However, it is possible that the plans could be disrupted by the starport's destruction. League forces will target the starport. You are required to engage the starport's defenses. As shield levels are depleted, attempt to destroy the structure. All hostile fleet craft should also be engaged.
What really bothers me about the Chimera, not only that it is slow, has only the 2 lasers, but it's just you don't really get many missiles. You just get 1 torpedo, 1 anti-shield torpedo, burst torpedo, which doesn't really work that well, and that's all you get, and then you just have to shoot the rest.
just doesn't do its...
It should totally do more. Or I
Right,
just
I
wish we
mean,
had
that
more
took out
missiles.
about, what, a third at most of the shields
Yes.
there? Yeah.
Oh, and I'm gonna go out of my way to destroy everything because that's how I roll.
Well, all craft should be engaged. It's just a strange way to phrase that. Makes it sound like, we're not going to tell you to, we're just going to drop some heavy hints. Might be nice if someone engaged all these craft. Alright, I get it, Command, I get it.
Look, it's also said that other members of the League were the members of the Navy who defected, so...
Mm-hmm. The father's just really passive-aggressive, I guess.
Nobody really knows him.
Yeah.
He's just a messianic figure. This starport, you can see I almost bit the dust again in this mission, because that starport has a lot of strength.
Yeah.
This is Command. Starport destroyed. Well done. The faction's cause will be severely damaged after this battle.
I know it seems odd that we go straight to the bad endings, but just assume
Commencing
that
jump sequence.
if we could not... Oh, I'm actually going to show you what happens when that command craft docks. I remember this. I will always remember this. It does something very particular, and it shouldn't work, but it's going to.
Mm-hmm,
So if you fail this mission, the command craft docks, well, you get the bad ending, but...
Apparently it docks by just ramming straight into the starport.
You can see the docking window that's open. And... swoop, there it's gone.
That's wonderful.
This is Command.
That
Attack forces
that happened.
Starport.
That's
I'm
the thing
so
that's
glad
happened.
that happened.
Well, you know what? Maybe they deserve to
Yeah,
win for that.
yeah.
Jump sequence
Turns out it was just a
initiated.
fighter with a big
And so it
hologram
happens.
projector around it this whole time.
When the command craft docked and the sellout began, we realized the dream was over. At least, the ideals that the League had represented were finished. For a few treacherous vermin, the League now offered a passport to comfort and wealth. They had made peace with the enemy. Their deal was this. In return for the chance to fly back to the colonies boasting of victory over the Empire, the faction would ensure that theft and oppression could continue unchecked. The colonies welcomed back the League fleet and hailed them as heroes. But as the fanfares faded, the old life returned. The faction made sure that the Earth was serviced with the resources it needed, and the colonies supplied what they had, until there was nothing left to give. Most of my loyal comrades were executed by the faction. Just a handful managed to escape. One day, I hope we might rise again.
So unlike Diomedes, where the Gallinaire just gets, and Diomedes are just smashed, the League is subverted by traitors within itself.
Well, I guess that's technically an improvement, but I guess from this point on, the bad endings get less bad until we all the way reach the...
Oh yeah, the next ending is essentially a neutral ground.
That's cool. I really like that setup. That's really interesting.
The fourth ending is the canon ending, and the final ending, unfortunately, is not the canon ending, because I like that. I love that
No,
ending.
it's too good, too cheerful.